All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to our Lunch and Learn today on our YES application. Thank you all so much for joining. So in our discussion today, you'll get the chance to learn a bit more about our youth employment system. Yes, it is one system that does it all. So everything from accepting, processing, tracking, and managing job applications. Our focus today is communication between applicants and employers. So you'll get the chance to learn a little bit about that and some of the other features that YES has to offer. All right, so before we get into that, I just want to start with a bit of introductions. My name is Zena. I am a solutions advisor here at Digicon. I work alongside my colleague Terry, who you see on the other camera. Hi, Terry. Thank you. And we work to meet with clients about the YES application. I'd like to introduce a few of our development team members. They are the ones behind YES, and they work to develop and meet with clients as well. We have Mark, Sharupa, and Ragini. The three of them are on this call as well. So if at all we get into some of those technical questions or a little bit more detailed, they'll be here to answer any of those questions throughout the presentation. All right. So I just wanted to open the floor up to some intros. So feel free to unmute yourself or write any questions in the chat throughout the presentation. So now I'll just take a minute, maybe share your name, your title, your organization, and what kind of interested you in joining this Lunch and Learn today. Do you currently have a youth employment system? And are you looking for a new one? Maybe the one that you don't have a system at all at this point. If you could just take a second, maybe introduce yourself into the chat. Or like I said, unmute, and we'd be happy to hear from you all. All right, I do see a couple people typing, so I'll give it a second. Hi, Ray. Hello, Ray from Seattle. Yes, you do have a summer youth employment program. I see that. So thank you. Hopefully we can help you learn a little bit more about your summer program, and we can address some of those needs that you're looking for today. Okay, and I see another one, Scott from Franklin, Ohio. Okay, so yes, you currently have a paper process and you're just looking for an entirely new system. All right, definitely we can help you with that. We'll get into that as well today. And hello, Ruby. You work for Summer Search in Boston. Okay, yes, I think I do remember connecting with your organization. So you're currently using Career Navigator and Internship Manager. Awesome, that's good to hear. So hopefully we can learn a little bit more about YES today, and maybe you can compare it a bit to your system. All right, and yes, once again, I think we can go ahead and move along now, but if you're still typing, feel free to type ahead, put your information in, introduce yourself. And okay, great. Angelica, hello. I actually think I did connect to someone from your organization. So thank you for joining. It's good to hear from you guys again. So you guys are looking for a system, but you use an existing system from your provider. Okay, great. And Casey, yes, hello, Casey. I believe we spoke with on the phone as well. Thank you so much for joining once again. And I remember connecting with Faye from your organization as well. So it's good to see you here. And Gina, hello. Yes, I think Terry, maybe that's someone you've connected with. But yes, you were interested in potential apprenticeship program, and you're from Idaho. So thank you so much for joining. Hopefully we can communicate a little bit more deeply with you throughout the presentation. And I think we can go ahead and move along. And like I said, throughout the presentation, feel free to type into the chat. All right, so I'd like to start off by looking at some of the common problems our clients were facing before using YES. So with the volume of the application some of these programs receive, it can get a bit difficult to keep track of so many physical files and paperwork. So when we were initially speaking with a lot of our clients, we were hearing that they were losing a lot of documents, applications were going missing, applications would get mixed up with other records. A lot of them were using a manual paper process, which was very slow and tedious. And they pretty much had no online system at all. Other programs we spoke with did have some sort of an online process, but they were using multiple softwares to get the job done. And overall, the process was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. And these were just some of the issues that we had in mind when we went into the design process of the YES application. So here are some of the solutions that we came up with to address these issues. So Yes is hosted in Amazon Web Services. So earlier I mentioned the problem of the documents going missing. Well, with the Yes application, it is no longer an issue because all of your files will be safely backed up into the cloud. So you won't have to worry about losing any of your files because the system will automatically store it all for you and back it up for you. Yes is also a designated system for housing all of your programs documents. So in one place, separate from other records, job applications won't get mixed up with any other records because the system will keep track of it all, and you'll be able to check on the application's progress from start into finish. So the system was specifically designed to replace the manual paper process. So in Yes, the registration and the applications process are completely automated, which will overall just streamline the job application process and the matching process as well. And then lastly, there's no need to keep track of those multiple softwares that I mentioned because Yes is an all-in-one system. So it manages those job applications for you, matches candidates to those jobs, tracks those timesheets, and it can also host web video conferencing. So you won't need those 5 different softwares anymore because Yes is just one software that can do that all for you. So now I just wanted to take a moment to look at one of our customers, the Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Employment and Development. So before Yes, MOAD had a manual paper application process. So they would keep all of their files and store those on paper applications. And they are a pretty big program. They had thousands of youth records that they would store on Excel sheets and they would sift through those manually. And they had no online automated system at all. But after working with us through Yes, MOAD was able to process all of those user applications, which helped them to grow from a few thousand to now over 16,000 applications. And it helps them to manage all of that seamlessly. So as I mentioned, Yes is one system that does it all. So it can help you help your organization with saving time and money. It automates the process of registering, managing, and matching those candidates to jobs. So instead of having to do all that work manually, it'll synthesize all that into one automatic process. So what is Yes? Yes is a mobile-friendly web application that allows candidates and employers to self-register, and it also gives the program administrators control over that entire process and placing those candidates into those match positions. So it's a software that we've created here at DigiCon. We manage and we host ourselves, so we can work closely with you and easily make any customizations that you might need that are specific to your organization. The application is also hosted in Amazon Web Services, so the environment can automatically scale up or down with you, and you won't see any of those limitations on capacity or any changes in performance on your end at all. So Yes, can be customized for youth and adult employment programs. Typically, we work with a lot of youth programs, but that's not all that Yes can be used for. It can be modified for adult programs, internships, volunteers, opportunities, apprenticeships, and more. And that's something that we can meet with you all a little bit more. A lot of the programs that we work with are a combination of these. They might not just be employment. They might have volunteering or internships or apprenticeships. So we work with a lot of our organizations to help them grow. And if they need to expand, we can work with you to include that or more. I did want to take a moment to ask everyone which of these their programs is more similar to. Are you perhaps a youth or an adult employment program, an internship, a volunteer opportunity, or an apprenticeship? So I just wanted to poll the audience. If you could take a minute, answer which one of those is closest to your program. And if it's other, please let me know in the comments. Just go ahead, type if it's something that's a little different, doesn't quite fall into these brackets, or maybe if it's a combination of all three, let me know. I'm curious to hear what everyone's working with. Okay, I'm going to give it another minute or two, let everyone get a chance to respond. All right. Thank you, everyone. So it looks like the majority of everyone here has a youth or adult employment program, but we do have a couple that are focused on internships or volunteer opportunities and apprenticeships as well. So yes, we can work with you. And like I said, if you're a combination of these programs, yes, can work to manage all of that for you. All right, let's move along. So I just wanted to get into a little bit more of an overview. So yes, is great because it can help your organization save time and money. It automates that process of registering, managing, and matching candidates to jobs. So instead of having to do all of that work manually, it will synthesize it into one automatic process. So from registration to job assignments, yes, will help streamline that process for you. So there's a lot of steps in the application process, whether it's from interviewing the youth to intaking those applications to matching them. All of that is done throughout the system. So we found that a lot of the programs we work with are able to get through this a lot quicker than they were previously. And like I mentioned earlier, we've created this platform from the ground up, which gives us the ability to help make it completely customizable for you. So we meet with a lot of our clients and we find that they have very specific program needs. And that's something that our team and our developers can work with you to make it fit directly for your program. So it can easily include reports or any email templates or website pages that are specific to your organization. And we can personalize that and add that into the system for you. And like I mentioned earlier, it also includes the web conferencing feature. So you can use that to conduct trainings, hold meetings, and just do overall communication with your candidates. I know a lot of the programs we work with help train their youth with interviewing process or resume building. So all of that can be done virtually through the web conferencing feature. All right, so now I want to get into the primary users or the major roles that we have that will typically be using the S application. We have the candidates, the employers, and then the program administrator. So the candidate is the first one, and they will be using the platform to register and submit their applications. So as a candidate, you will be able to stay informed of your application status with both automated emails and text messages. And so the candidate will always be aware of exactly where they stand in the application process. Next, we have the employer who will register their company in the platform and post any available job openings that they have. And then lastly, we have the program administrator. So if you've joined this meeting today, that's most likely going to be your role within the tool. The program administrator would be the one that manages the application process, conducts those interviews, and matches the applicants to the open positions that are posted by the employers. Okay. So now I just want to delve a little bit deeper into the admin functions. So as an administrator, you would be able to manage lists and templates, send out batch emails and batch notifications to both candidates and employers. You'll also have access to the homepage tools, so you can completely customize the layout, edit the content, and manage any of the media that's in there. You'll also have the ability to create reports, which is pretty cool. We find that that's useful for a lot of people we communicate with. You can set the criteria for the reports and then just easily download it to your device and share that amongst your team. And that's all completely built in. And then I want to get to the communication aspect. A major issue that we hear from a lot of the youth organizations we connect with is communication. They find it difficult to stay connected between the youth, the employers, the administrators. There's a lot of factors involved. So we wanted to make it a focus to help everyone stay connected seamlessly. So yes allows both candidates and employers to remain connected with one another. So through batch emailing, administrators are able to send out mass messaging to candidates and employers about all the program information that they have. They're also able to have automated email notifications that are set up to alert candidates throughout the process. So once they've hit a certain stage, they'll get that automatic email that lets the candidate know where they are throughout the process, and so that they're always in the know. And then next we have the text messaging. So youth can actually opt in for SMS text messaging updates onto their application as well. So they can get those alerts directly to their phone, know when their results are posted, know when their application is being processed, and that's something that can be included as well. And then lastly, once again, we have the video web conferencing feature that can help administrators meet with youth and meet with those employers. So just a quick overview of the three features we're going to be getting into today, which is the web conferencing, the auto match, and the timesheet tracking feature. So starting off with the auto match feature, which is one of the coolest features that I think Yes has to offer. So with the auto match, you're able to set up the matching criteria as you please and assign scores to each criteria based on your preference. And then the system goes to match the candidate based on those scores that they receive. So you still have the ability to manually match if you prefer to do it that way, but the system can do auto matching you to those positions completely for you. So I just wanted to show this quick image of what the auto match feature looks like from the Yes perspective. On the left, you have all of the youth's usernames, first names, last names. And in that middle category, there is the score. So the score that I mentioned earlier that based on the criteria that you set, the score would be attributed to each of those skills, and the system will tally that up for you and match the youth to the best opportunity for them. Next, it has the position, the organization, and the specific work site that the youth works at. Now I just want to get into the timesheet tracking feature, which is the newest addition to our tool. And we've had a lot of our customers super excited about this one as well. So it gives you the ability to initiate, produce, and submit youth timesheets to the program staff in a super simple and easy way. And since it's actually built into the tool, it makes it really easy for employers, youth, and administrators to access it because they can all just log into that same place that they were logging into for the applications for the job postings. So the way that it works is pretty simple. The worksite supervisor would initiate those timesheets, and then the youth can go in, review the timesheet, and approve it. It then passes over to the supervisor or the administrator, and they can do that final approval. And yep, that's it. It's ready for payroll. So I just wanted to take a quick look at this image as well. So we have the timesheet tracking feature, and you can see that has the organization name, the work site name. So a lot of the organizations we work with, they have multiple work sites. So that will specify exactly which work site the youth is located at, the job title, a little bit of a job summary about the position itself. It has all of the supervisors' information, contact, email, and phone. And then right over here in the center, you can log your hours and just hit submit. Pretty simple, straightforward, and that is once again already built into the Yes system. And then on to the next one, we have the timesheet feature from the administrator's perspective. So as an administrator, you can log in and you can see exactly what the pay period is for that youth. We have a list of youth right here, the start date, the end date of that period, how many hours that are worked. And then we have the status column that will let you know exactly where that timesheet is in the process. And then it passes over to the youth. The youth can do that final approval, look it over, and submit that back to the administrator, and it's all set and good to go. So I do want to take another moment to ask everyone a quick question. I went over a couple different features today. Which of these features do you think, in your opinion, adds the most value to your program? Is it the timesheet feature, the auto match feature, the web conferencing feature, the processing? Was it this overall streamlining, or was it the emails and the text messages? So I'm going to give it a moment and let everyone take a second, answer that question. Okay, I'm seeing some responses come in already, which is good. All right, give it another minute or two. All right, I think we got the majority of responses in. So thank you all. It looks like most people are just interested in the overall streamlining, as well as the auto matching and the timesheet. And someone is also interested as well for the batch emailing, which is great. And we can get into those a little bit more deeply down the line. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that we do find that the auto match and the timesheet are the most popular. And now I just wanted to touch on one of our clients. So this is a quote from one of our customers over at Moed, Kevin McLam. He is the IT director for them, and he said that he's worked closely with DigiCon since 2011 to help upgrade and simplify their summer youth employment process, and that we've been a tremendous partner with them. So thank you, Kevin, for that. We're happy to continue working with you all and help you meet your needs. And I just want to touch on some of the youth programs that we've helped. We work with the city of Wilmington, the Youth Career and Development Program. So in Wilmington, Delaware, we began supporting them in 2019. We also worked with Newcastle, the Summer Youth Employment Program, and recently we started working with NRWIB, the Northwestern Regional Workforce Investment Board in Delaware as well. So before we get into that, I just wanted to take a quick moment to go a little bit deeper into the batch emailing. As I saw from the polling, it looked like a lot of people were really interested in that. So I want to take a quick second to show a little bit of the system itself, and maybe we can see a little bit what it looks like from our end. Okay. So this is what Yes looks like from the administrator's perspective. You can see that there's all of this can be customized a little bit for your layout, but you can see the youth registrations, worksite registrations, and I'm going to hop into the youth registrations. So over here, you can see a list of all the youth that are in the program. You can see which application year. You can choose which program, whether it's the summer program or a year-round application, and all of this can be customized specific to your program needs. And then over here, they have the batch emailing. So I just wanted to touch on what that looks like from your end. We have a couple of built-in templates that we have for you. We find that a lot of people have a set program similar throughout the system. So we have the different templates that you can use, or we can have some more custom ones for your system. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this one. So here's what you can get a quick preview of exactly what the template looks like, the subject, the message itself, and then you can go ahead and choose which recipients you want. And all you would have to do is just hit send email. So it's pretty simple, and you can send those emails out to all the youth in your system and all the employers as well, so everyone can be in the know. We also have the reports tab over here. I mentioned the reporting that the system does, and you can choose any one of these to see a deeper look and to analyze your data, your youth applicants, your positions a little bit more. So you can click on whether you're curious about the youth matching, the text messaging, the pre-registration. The system will generate that report for you based on your program's data, and you can share that with your team. And we find that this is really useful for a lot of the organizations that we work with.
Zina, can you please hold on? I see Brent is not able to see the presentation.
Sure, Ragini.
Are others having any issue?
Is it with the screen share? Oh, okay. Brian,
Okay,
I think
it's
you said
back up
it's
now.
not cut now. Okay, great. So, I just wanted to give a second to touch on a demo. So, like I mentioned, we understand that every program is different, and everyone's program needs are a little bit more specific to them. So, the next best step would be to meet with us for a demo where we can learn a little bit more about your youth program. We can get into the actual application itself, show you all the functionality in detail, and we can also learn more about your program needs just to determine if yes is a fit for you. Um, you can meet with myself or Terry, my colleague here as well, or any of the dev team members. Our information is over here. So feel free to reach out to us and we can set up that demo with you after this to learn a little bit more about your program needs. Um,
Actually, there
before
are a few questions in the public chat. Maybe we can go one by one and see. Most of them are answered, but I just want to go over so that everyone can get a chance to know the answers. One is Gina, is there a fee with the SMS text messaging? So we do not have any fees from our application side, but whoever is using the text messaging, I think the data messages apply based on their SMS provider that they use. Um, so that is the one
That's
for
why the
Gina.
system will default to not send text messages unless they elect to, and then that way they can choose whether they want to incur that cost or not. So
Yeah,
it's a pretty standard.
it's a user setting that they can
Yeah,
choose.
each user can choose
Yeah,
to opt in or out.
yeah. And Scott is asking how many administrators can the program have. So our application doesn't have any limit on the user base, whether it's a youth or administrators or the employers, whoever registers for it. But based on the program size, we do have the cost limit. And one of the questions is what is the pricing? So till the 500 users band, we have a dollar per user per month. But if it is more than that, obviously the price will decrease, and we can definitely have a negotiation on that based on our program size. And definitely we do have a larger user base for the Baltimore city. They almost have like 17,000 users that are registering and using the system in total. So definitely we can provide you the pricing and all other details like the hosting and administrative fees if you're really interested on it. Yeah, that is with the pricing thing. And
The job seeker.
can the employer contact the job seeker directly through the app if they are a match?
No, not currently. That would currently it's a double blind system because it's dealing with minors. You don't want some random employers and some connecting with the youth and then having
Right.
some issues. So the system is currently neither one contacts each other through the system, only through the program management. They see each other and get correspondence back and forth. However, if your model is different than that,
Yeah.
discuss making the system give that kind of functionality if needed.
Right. Um, yeah, most of the communication is from the administrator, whoever matches the candidates to the job openings. So, as Mark mentioned, the administrators can send the emails to either the work sites or employers and the youths. But if you really want the employer to get in touch with the candidate, we can add it as an extra feature, as an enhancement for that application. Yeah. So, yeah, if anybody has any more questions, please feel free to type in, or you can just unmute your microphone and ask any questions.
Hi, this is Swarupa. I just want to mention, like how Zina was mentioning about how yes can be customized for different programs, right? We just want to give you an example where we worked with the city of Wilmington, and they initially approached us for their youth career development program. Once after we built that system and they used it for about nine or 11 months, they came back to us with another requirement for their food nutrition department, and we built a food service system which is entirely new, and it is totally different from the summer jobs platform. So um, you have a requirement which will fit, or which can relate to yes, or which is entirely different, you can let us know and we can work closely with you and we can build it for you. Thank you.
All right. If anyone has any other questions, like I said, feel free to stay and chat a little longer. I think we can go ahead and conclude the meeting for today. So thank you all so much for joining. Myself, Terry, and the dev team will be on this call for a little longer. So if anyone has any extra questions or wants to stay on and chat a little longer, we'd be happy to stay. Oh, hello, Scott. It looks like you are looking to book a demo. If you're interested, we will definitely follow up with you. But I also provided the calendar in the chat. Would you like the demo today? Is that what we would like to do? If you meant today, we can discuss that. But also we have the calendar in the chat as well, so you could book the time anytime. Okay, perfect. Yes. Yeah, the calendar link is right there in the chat. So just go ahead, you can book a time that works best with you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, once again, for joining today. And yeah, like I said, we'll be on this call for a little bit longer if anyone wants to stay. You can unmute, chat with us a little bit. We can learn a little bit more about your program. Or if you have some questions, you can type them into the chat. But thank you all so much. And yes, Scott, like I said, feel free to schedule with that link that we sent.